I think my bunny had an unfortunate accident this Easter. Poor bunny. Good morning, everybody. It's Stephen here for the Idiot Quilter, and welcome to Monday Morning Coffee with Stephen, episodes number 451 for April the 6th, 2026. And you'll notice I'm not drinking coffee. I'm drinking water this morning. And the reason for that is that after I get this finished, this recording, I'm off to the dentist for teeth cleaning and a checkup. I hate the dentist. Excuse me. Quilter's cough. And yeah. So I don't want to have my breath smelling like coffee, so water it is. Yeah, it gives me a great deal of stress when I'm going to go to the dentist. It's a leftover from childhood trauma. Yeah, I had a bad experience when I was a kid, and ever since then, my least favorite people in the world are anybody that has anything to do with the dentist or the dental business. And it is a business. That's the other part of it all. Yeah, they don't only get you in the mouth, they get you in the wallet too, don't they? Yeah. And they're always so pleasant about it when they take the wallet and everything like that. And they always find something. It's like taking your car to a mechanic. You know, you go in for an oil change and they want to do everything else. Well, excuse me. That's kind of the way it is with the dentist too. Anyways, great work if you can get it. So let's take a look at my current projects. Just sneak peek. Tomorrow on the Idiot Quilter, we'll talk more about this in detail. And I am kind of rushing through this today because I have to leave in about an hour or so's time to get to the dentist, as much as I don't want to go. But yeah, and I also think that maybe some of my Monday morning coffee things are getting a little bit on the lengthy side, so I'll try not to ramble like I'm doing right now. So let's take a look. Okay, this is the Jacobean Floral Table Runner, and it's an In the Hoop project, and it's coming along quite nicely. I quite like it. This is going to be the length of it. I have to sew the panels together and do the backing, and it'll all be done. And it's going to go upstairs in either my dining room table or on my kitchen table. Haven't decided which yet. And then here, the next set of blocks, block set number 4 for the Alaskan quilt. It's coming along. There's still many miles to go. I think I'm getting a little better at putting these blocks together. They are tricky. You don't want to cut off your points, but we'll talk about point cutting off tomorrow on the Idiot Quilter. And then, of course, I have started this. And this is the Art East Peter Pan, what is it? I can never remember the name of it. And, you know, it's a famous phrase from it. Turn to the left, go to the right, whatever. First star, second star to the right. That's what it's called. And this is Peter's face. More of him to go. Lots of little pieces. Thank goodness John has videos, and his instructions are impeccable as well. I made a couple little mistakes, but I was able to correct them, and that's on me. That's not on John. But I am kind of enjoying doing it. It's a good thing because this is a block of the month kind of thing, and this is going to take quite a few months, I think, to get it done. But anyways, it's coming along quite nicely. And that's not what I want to show you there yet. Okay. Let us go to comments from last week's episodes. I'm back here, I guess. So this week's comment that I want to share with you comes from Donna, and Donna says, yes, we need a stable government, referring to the things I said last week about our government here in Canada. I agree with you. I was in Japan once, just as a stopover from our flight. Stayed the night. I always want to go back and spend more time there. Although I hate any fish, sushi, laugh out loud, but they are very polite, and I love that I got sick on the Japan Air flight. All I could smell is sushi, and to this day, just thinking of it makes me ill. I cannot do seafood. Even tried some in Indonesia. Well, yeah, that's kind of me as well when it comes to fish. I do not like fish. I do not like the smell of fish. However, I'm going to try sushi when I'm in Japan, because I mean, where else are you going to get the best sushi except in Japan? And we are on a food tour at one time, one day when we're in Tokyo, and sushi's on the menu on the food tour. So I am going to try it. They do have something you can have instead of the sushi if you don't like sushi, but I am going to try it. I'm going to try a little bit. Who knows? Maybe I will absolutely love it. I doubt it, but maybe I'll absolutely love it. And I've got a new food group that I want to eat all the time. We shall see. But speaking of Japanese food, Walter tried his hand at making Japanese curry. We went to an international food store and picked up these cubes that have the curry sauce in them, and you add your own vegetables. I think he put in some carrots and some peppers and potato and that kind of thing, and onions. And that brownie lump thing is a breaded pork loin center cut piece, which he fried up in panko bread crumbs, which I did not know. I knew of panko. We use them all the time, but they are actually Japanese. And he had some rice. Well, that's basmati rice, and it's not really the right rice to serve with this, but we didn't have any of the rice that really goes sticky, which is, I guess, how you pick this all up, the curry, with your chopsticks. We did not use chopsticks. We don't have any. We used to have a set of chopsticks, but I think I threw them out when we did the last purging of the kitchen because we weren't really using them, and they were getting a little worn. They were plastic ones, that kind of thing. So we need to pick up some chopsticks, I guess, if we're going to continue these food experiments. Did I like this? Well, no. Yes and no. There was something lacking. I love curry, but I love Indian curry. This is not like Indian curry. I'm not sure what it's like. Well, it's Japanese. There seemed to be something missing in the spice section. That's why we have a bottle of cayenne pepper out. It wasn't very hot. Well, they only had two in the store. They only had two levels of this. They had a mild and they had a really hot. And we thought, well, we better not try the really hot just in case. So we got the mild. And as I said, it tastes okay, a little different. When I added the cayenne pepper to it, that helped. It's a texture thing. It's kind of thick, the curry sauce, but it's just different. I can't describe it. So I think it is an acquired taste. As I said, I did not hate it. And it may be totally different when we get to Japan and have whatever they have, that they call curry. Because I mean, this is a packaged kind of thing that we're trying here. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm leaving my mind open to new food experiences. So yeah. Okay. So thank you for that comment, Donna, which got me on. I've got the hiccups now. This is not a great start to the day. Yeah. Yeah, I know what it is. It's my nerves about this stupid dentist thing. And I shouldn't get it going on because it doesn't hurt. It's just them scraping away in there. And, well, stop talking about it. So what else has been happening at home and elsewhere? Well, there's an interview with Walter and I on So Off Kilter. That's the podcast done by Becca of So Becca and Ian of Off Kilter Crafter, and it was a lot of fun to do it. We did it a couple of weeks ago and they posted it last week. I have a link for it in the show notes if you haven't seen it. We had a lot of fun. They're a great couple of people. Really enjoy meeting them. I had them both on the retreat last fall as well. So that was great. But anyways, if you want to laugh, check that out. So, on other things that aren't so funny, let's look at the political scene briefly. We've got Trump, who addressed the U.S. about the war in Iraq, or whatever he calls it these days. He calls it an excursion. Like, when you're blowing up people and buildings and stuff, that's not an excursion. That's a full-blown war. Who's he trying to kid? Everybody, apparently. But anyways, in his little address to the nation, it wasn't long, thank God, because most of his speeches go on for 2 hours or more, and he just rambles. But this one was just pure bullshit about what's going on in Iran or what he's doing. He needs to be gotten rid of. Americans, please, please do the world a favor. And when the midterms come out, get out there and vote against him. Come on. I mean, I'm sorry, but Americans put him in power, okay? And now he's screwing you all over, plus the rest of the world. So wake up, smell the coffee, and get rid of him. Only you can do that. Nobody else in the world can. You have the power. Take it. And get rid of somebody that's destroying your country and destroying many other countries in the world. Okay, let's get off that soapbox. Well, on happier notes, going to the moon. In fact, we talked about this on Stephen and Walter Live yesterday. And, you know, I'm really not sure if spending all that money to go around the moon, not even land on it, is worth it. I mean, that money that they spent on this could be used to, we got a long, long way for, you know, to feed people, to clothe people, to give people decent health care in the United States, to help out, you know, third world countries that can't help themselves. I mean, it's a waste. It really is. And here's why I think it's a waste in a nutshell. We talked about this yesterday on Stephen Walter Live. One, we do not have the technology to go anywhere in our solar system, let alone beyond. We can send a probe or two, but when it comes to sending people, we don't have the technology yet. Those 4 astronauts are sitting on top of a bomb, a huge bomb. Anything can go wrong. And is it worth their lives? Is it worth the money and the whole bit to circle the moon? Oh, yes, I know. Those of you that are into this kind of thing, and I'm not against space exploration, I just think it needs to be put in perspective. There are other things that need to be fixed first before we start looking for, you know, life or colonization beyond the Earth. I basically think it's just a show of power on the part of the Americans. They're just trying to show the rest of the world, look, we can do this, ha ha ha. And of course, I think it would be a very strategic place for defense. When anybody says, I don't care if they're American, if they're from another country, anything to do with the military, when they say defense, they mean offense, they mean war, they mean killing. So, strategic little spot to put that up. But they go, oh, no, 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 there's so many minerals and things up there that we need on Earth, and this would be great, you know, blah, 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 and that kind of thing. Nah, the bottom line comes down to, like little boys flexing their muscles. I'm bigger and stronger than you, and I got to the moon first, and I can do this, and you can't, nah. That's all it is, in my opinion. You are free to differ from my opinion on that. It won't change my mind, but you can, if it makes you feel happy, you do that. Okay, so I've already mentioned I'm off to the dentist. Did I mention I'm off to the dentist? Yeah, hate it. Now, here is something. I'm going to talk about the retreat in a few minutes and registrations and how things are going with all of that. But some of you have sent me or have mentioned in the comment section, you don't know where to find my email address. And I have told you, you go to the box underneath the video. I call that the show notes. It may be commonly referred to as the descriptor box, whatever. It's a little line, basically, a little box underneath the video. And there's a little word, more. And you click on that, and that expands, and everything you ever want to know is there. But some of you just can't find it. Now, I thought, okay, I'm going to help you. And I'm put together a little short video showing you exactly where it is and how to get into it. And I'm going to insert that here right now. There's many of you who have asked, how do you find my email address and how do you find the links to various things that I put the links up for? Well, first of all, let's deal with something called the show notes. What I refer to the show notes, it is actually technically called description box, and it's usually under one of my videos. So let's just go to one of my videos on my channel and we'll look at this one. And you see you have your video comes up on the screen. And below you have this sort of beigey colored box. And in this box, if you look, there's a big line of text, which is the start of the complete message that's in this box. What you need to do is expand this, and you do it by going over here to the word more. And just click on that, and the whole thing will expand, and here's where you're going to find everything. So you see here, Sewing with Stephen. Here's the link for it right there. Which you could copy and paste into a more permanent document because this never changes. It's always the same. Or now you know where to go to find this information. You'll also find information to my free patterns in this box as well with, in blue, the link. You just click on that. It'll take you to my Google Drive and you can download those patterns as a PDF. Also in here, you're going to find any links that I put up for my videos, and they're here, and you will find links for all of my previous videos for the week. And depending on whether you're in the Idiot Quilter or on So Chatty, you may find additional links like these, my favorite quilt stores, linked there as well. You can also get a transcript in here of what I've said if you click on that button. You can ask questions. And right here at the bottom, now let's go back up to the top. Some of you are looking for my email address. Now I'm going to tell you right now, I do not make this public knowledge because there are bots out there, they're from scammers who skim through most content creators' show notes looking for their email address so they can bug them about all kinds of different things, which are all scams for the most part. So most of us do not publish our email address in an area that a bot can find it. And also, YouTube has set up an area to help us with that problem. So if you look here, it says in this, send me your pics or request to be interviewed via email. Go to about for my email address. And the About section is at the bottom of this page. So you just scroll down to the bottom of the page, right to the bottom, and there you will find a section called About. And you just click on that, and you get all kinds of information. But this is what you're looking for under More Info, View Email Address. So when you click that, it's going to reveal it for you. Sorry, that went the wrong way. It will reveal it for you, and it will also possibly say it wants to check to make sure you're a real human being. So there is a little box you check next to that, and my email address will appear, and that's how you find it. So do make sure you go in and check these videos for that information. And just to review it again, when you're in a video, I'm trying to get into a video, okay, go to this box underneath the actual video itself right here, go all the way over to More, click on More, box will expand, and all the information you need is right there. I hope that helps. Okay, so I hope that helps you out and solves the mystery. Now, I did look on a cell phone, on an iPhone, to see how you do it, and funny, on the iPhone, it's pretty much the same, except when you go to the part where I showed you where you'd find my email address, it's not there. That does not have anything to do with me. That has everything to do with how YouTube puts their program, their algorithms and everything up on different devices. And I never thought to check on the iPad to see what's happening there with it. But yeah. So the best way is, if you want to see find my email address, is to just go on your computer and go to the show notes as I just showed you. Now you're going to ask, well, why don't I publicize my email address? Well, it's not a big secret, but it is a big secret on YouTube, because there are bots that scrub through everybody's videos looking for that kind of information so they can eventually sell it or scam you or do whatever, or worse things. So that's why most of us as content creators don't put that there. I suppose I could put up a dummy address, but then it's the same thing. they'd screw around with that. So that's why it is there. YouTube has created a little program within the page that makes you have to identify yourself as a human being. Because it's not human beings that are going through all these videos to find this information. It is bots that do it, that they've programmed. And so YouTube says, well, you got to show us you're human. And if you can't show us you're human, you're not getting in. So that's a safeguard. And that's a good thing. But, you know, eventually the bots, someone will figure out how to make a bot seem like a human. Oh, I think that's AI. Yeah, whatever. Okay, so that's where you'll find my email address, and you'll find everything that I talk about. I usually put up a link to in that box as well. So yeah, if you haven't been getting into that, or you didn't know about that, or whatever, well, I hope you will use it, because it is there. There's information, and not just on my site, not just on my channel. All content creators use this. You're missing out on some valuable resources if you didn't know how to get into that. Okay. Have I bought anything in the last week? Nothing of any consequence that you'd be interested in, like beard oil. I'm sure you're not that interested in beard oil. I'm trying to think. Was there anything else? Walter's got a lot of stuff from Amazon this week. Oh my goodness, he's just been shopping like crazy, buying a lot of electronic things. He needed some better power bars and things for his equipment and that, so he's been madly getting stuff from Amazon. But no, I haven't really too much this week. Okay, so highlights then from past week's videos. On Monday Morning Coffee last week, it was live. It went on for almost 2 hours. I think that's the longest live I've ever done. But people were asking questions and making comments in the chat, and I wanted to make sure that I didn't miss anybody's comments or questions, because that's the interactive element of doing a live, and it's important. I enjoy talking with you. Beats talking to myself like I am right now. And yeah. So anyways, and many of you told me that you enjoy, even in spite of its length, you enjoyed the live. So thank you for that. When's the next live? Monday Morning Coffee with Stephen. Next live will be the last Monday of whatever is in the last Monday of this month of April. So I think it might be the 30th, but I'm not absolutely sure. But that's when it will be. You'll get some notice of that beforehand anyways. So the Idiot Quilter, we talked about the retreat updates. We are now into registration, and we'll come back to that in a moment, but things are going along well. We're not that far away. We're only a couple of weeks from the spring retreat. So if you're thinking about signing up for it, don't sit too long on the fence. Make a commitment, because it is filling up. On So Chatty, we're continuing our series, Walter and I, on using the Accuquilt. We took a look at how to make a fairly complex block called the Carpenter's Wheel. This was a die that I have had for several years and never took out of the wrapper, so I thought it was time to do that, and so that's what I did, and it worked very well. In fact, you can see it over my this shoulder over here. It's up there, and yeah. So this week coming, we're going to take a look at the 8-inch cube block, which I've told you before, the cubes are a really good value, I think, for the money, because you can get a minimum of 72 different blocks out of one set of blocks. I'm going to show you how to do that. Not how to get 72, but I'm going to take one of the blocks it makes, and I'm going to make it and show you how you go about it. And I'm thinking I will do a few more of the blocks, maybe from one of the other cubes as well, just to give you an idea of, you know, the versatility of these. So that will be coming up on this week's So Chatty. And also, Walter continues his adventures in free motion quilting. We showed some of that yesterday. He is doing really well. His feathers are good. Yeah, I'm envious. Well, he filled the one bed sheet he had up there, so we bought another set of bed sheets on the weekend, and now it's all loaded up on Lucy. I didn't look this morning to see if he did anything last night, but I did set up the platform for doing ruler foot quilting on Lucy for him because he wants to try his hand at that. He's getting really good at this, and he seems to be loving it, which is even better because if he loves it, he'll do it and he can do my quilts. So I think after he's had some more practice on the bed sheets, we're going to plunge into doing custom quilting on an actual quilt, and I've already got a quilt made up for him that I made up from just a bunch of old charm packs and things like that. So he can go to town on that, and yeah, it's coming along nice. It's nice to have your own live-in personal long armor. Yeah. Okay, so, and of course, on our live, we talked about the moon, we talked about other things as well. Okay, so what's coming up? Well, sewing with me on Wednesdays as always. A link is in the show notes. Always welcome new people. It's always fun. And it's come and go as you please, you know that. I'm sorry that this is a repetition. I say this every week, but I've been getting new people every week to the channel, which is nice. And I just want them to know, if they're interested, how you go about doing it. Links in the show notes. It's always the same link. You just click on that, come Wednesday morning at 9 o'clock, and away you go. And you don't have to be there all day. You don't even have to be there at 9 o'clock. You can come whenever is convenient for you. That's what it's all about. It's kind of a drop-in, I guess you might call it. But we have a good time. And everybody gets a lot of things done, too. So it's a great opportunity for catching up on projects. Okay, retreat update. We are at about just over 60 registered people. That's pretty good considering that it only went up 2 days ago. A lot of the people signed up within the first hour and a half of when it went live, when the registration opened up, which is to be expected. That's the usual case. I've gotten more coming in dribs and drabs throughout yesterday. And I suspect that there'll be a few dribs and drabs coming in this week as well. But about 3 days before the actual date of the retreat, which is April the 18th, suddenly I'll get an influx because that's when people have decided they've been holding off one thing or another until they figured out what their schedule was. Basically, is something better going to come along at the last minute? Thank you. But anyways, yeah. So I've got basically about 30 spots left. So if you are one of those people that's procrastinating about do I do it, don't I do it, do it, make up your mind. Because by the time you get your mind made up and if you decide you want to sign up, you may not be able to. Okay? Am I putting fear of missing out vibes out to you? Yeah. But I'm telling you the truth because that's the way it runs. And I really want anybody who really wants to be there to have a spot. Okay, so let's take a look at the weather, shall we? So here's what it's looking like outdoors right now. It is 7 o'clock in the morning here, so the sun's just coming up. Pretty colors. You can see we did have a little snow last night, just a dusting. Yes, it's April, but here in Canada, that doesn't mean anything. We could get snow right into the latter part of April, and it's not completely rare that some parts of our country will get snow in May. Yeah, welcome to the frozen north, people. But this will probably melt off as the day goes on because I think the high today, right now, it is 0 degrees Celsius, 32 Fahrenheit. Our high is going to be, 5 degrees. So, yeah, it's brisk out there, but no, there's 45% chance of more snow, it says here, for today. So I don't imagine it'll be a great deal. And that's not until about 11 o'clock tonight. So we'll see. But there's 70% chance of snow tomorrow. Okay. And it's only going to have a high of 1 degree Celsius. Wednesday, sunny, so it'll melt everything. And then Thursday, it's going to rain, so that'll wash it all away. And Friday, it's going to rain, and that'll wash it all away. And then on Saturday, it's going to be sunny again, high of 11. But the highest for the week is 14 degrees C, which is about 58 degrees Fahrenheit on Thursday. but it'll be raining. So yeah, April showers and all that good stuff, right? So yeah, can't do much about the weather. We just have to put up with it. Okay, so that's what's happening outdoors. What else? Oh, the grow lights. Let's talk about the grow lights. Okay, so this is our new crop of lettuce. Those are baby little lettuce leaves, and it's coming along very nicely, the new stuff, but we still have some old stuff to eat up, and I think we better start on it because the leaves are getting a little brown on the tips. The basil's just gone wild. I don't know. It's just going to take over the house with that, as are the tomatoes. Yes, tomatoes coming out. We were at my sister's for Easter dinner, and she's got a hydroponic system in her kitchen, a small one, and she's got tomatoes right now, and she was complaining that they come on so fast they can't keep up with them. Well, yeah, they do, and they're perpetual. We eat a lot of tomatoes. Yeah. And these are very good. They're very nice tasting ones. They're just small tomatoes. That's fine. Salad tomatoes, cherry tomato type kind of thing, but very delicious. And yeah, and way back in the back, you can't see it well. I don't think I took a picture of it. I did not. Those dark colored peppers are actually turning a dark green. So we're leaving them there for a while. We're basically, we watch them to make sure they're not on the vine too long and start to go, turn the other way, start rotting or something. But yeah, I think Walter's got some other pepper plants started probably somewhere in this jungle. It's not in the picture at the moment. So yeah, they take a while, the peppers, but it's well worth the effort, especially at the price of peppers right now in the grocery store. Okay, so what's been happening with 3D printing? Well, news from Bamboo. And that's my printers of choice right now. I have 3 of them. 2 of my printers are X1Cs. Well, they're stopping production. Well, actually, they have stopped production of the X1C. They have other models, newer ones, that they're focusing their attention on. Well, I spent a lot of money on these ones, but that's okay because they're going to continue to support them in terms of replacement parts until 2031. So by then, who knows what I'll have? 5 years down the road, the technology changes so quickly. I'm not worried about it at all. I still love my Bamboo printers. And I've been playing with things, and I have to show you this because this is just funny. This is stuck to my fridge in the kitchen. It's called Splat Bunny, and it is what it says. That's the fridge door, the white background, and this has magnets on it. It prints out this way, all in one piece in the 2 colors. And yeah, it's the bunny has buried its little head into our fridge. I just thought it was hilarious. And there's a whole bunch of other ones too. So, of course, I printed them out because I can. And so here they are. I have them mounted on my wall down here by the printers. So we've got splattered Mario. We've got a splattered egg. We got a splattered baby chick. We've got a splattered Wile E. Coyote, that brown thing near the bottom. And then, of course, we've got ice cream cones, which are kind of fun. The ice cream cones, actually, I have them stuck to the wall, but you can actually just set them up on a table somewhere. And, I'm thinking, wouldn't they be fun in the summertime as, if you got people over for dinner or something, have them at everybody's place setting or something just for hoots? Yeah. But anyways, I've got enough splats now. I don't need any more. They've got one that looks like a rock that's going through a window. If you stick it on a window and if you make the splat part not black but out of clear PETG filament, it looks, I saw pictures of the ones who created these. It does look actually like someone has embedded a rock into your window. Yeah, great little practical joke. But I thought they were just fun. And then I had to make these. There is a serving person that we've gotten kind of friendly with at a place we go to every Wednesday night for dinner. It's just a pub kind of a thing. And she's always there and she always waits on us. Her name's Nicole. And we were showing her, talking about 3D printing, and she seemed to be really fascinated by the whole thing. And I said to her, well, do you collect anything? And she says, well, actually, she really likes owls. So I have made her not one, not two, three owls plus two owl keychains. And I'm throwing in a dragon as well. Um, and when we go in on Wednesday night this week, we're going to give these to her. Well, she's an excellent waitress. She looks after us well too. And you know how I love to make things for other people. So, I jumped on the chance here. So I hope that she likes these little guys. The one owl, he's the orange one. He's actually a pen holder or whatever you want to put in him as well. So yeah, just fun things. I love making fun things. Okay, so speaking of 3D printing, let me go back here. Yes, 3D printing primarily is done with plastic. But 3D printing has really expanded. And I said that, 3D printing is something that, I'm just trying to get something up here on my screen, that is constantly evolving and it's becoming part of our everyday lives. They have 3D printers in the medical field that actually create prosthetics and even body parts now. And they're still developing that. But something I think we're going to see a lot more of because, it seems like we have a housing crisis here in Canada, and I imagine other parts of the world too. And they want like cheap, affordable housing, but it takes time to build houses and get that going in your infrastructure and the whole bit. So some companies are exploring the possibility of making houses from using 3D printing. But these are not 3D printers like I use. These are huge industrial kind of machines that make, well, here's a couple of pictures of the kind of thing that they can make. It's basically extrudes concrete, a mixture of concrete, and it's a great big huge crane looking thing, and it goes all the way around for each layer. Essentially, it operates the same way as my 3D printers work, except on a much larger scale. Yes, these are unconventional looking houses, very modern because of the technologies that's needed. But there are some benefits to this. Like they say here in this article, speed. An average size home, they say, can be printed in 24 to 48 hours, with total completion taking about 10 days compared to the months for traditional building. So, yeah, you want to put up fast housing? This is the way to go. They even say cost efficiency. It costs up to 80%. Labor costs, it reduces labor costs by up to 80% because only 2 to 3 on-site operators are typically needed. Now, some people are going to be upset about that because basically this is an example of technology replacing human beings, taking their jobs. But there has to be people who know how to operate these machines. There are people who will have to move them around from site to site and get them set up. There are people who will have to develop the technology further with it all. So, when you lose one job in a sector, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be completely replaced by technology. It just means it opens up more opportunities for other jobs that we hadn't thought of. So they're saying overall construction costs can be 10 to 30% lower than traditional methods. So does that mean that the builders will pass that savings on to the consumer? That's to be seen. That's to be seen. And then they talk about sustainability, because aren't we all into sustainability these days? This process generates up to 95% less waste than conventional construction by using precise additive layering. So the question begs, will this create printer poop? Well, you're not really changing colors in this. It's all the same color as far as the concrete. And I guess the post-processing, they can colorize the walls or whatever. But if it produces less waste, then yep, good for the environment. And they said design freedom. Printers can easily create curved walls and complex organic shapes that would be prohibitively expensive to build manually. So, futuristic looking homes, especially this one at the bottom of the page. I think that's all I've got. Oh wait, there's another picture up here. Here's an interior view. I don't know if you can see this well. Let me see if I can blow this up. give it a little bigger. Okay, best I can do. But very space age, very minimalist too in there. But obviously this was done as a sort of a demo. But kind of cool. Um, you know, the curves, the whole bit, the skylight up in the ceiling. They got showing a tree growing in the middle of the room. Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, there's a lot of problems with this too. I have been reading, like um people have questioned insulation, how warm they are, but they are doing things about that too. So it will come. Well, it's already here. There are homes that have been built with 3D printers and people live in them. So, not a lot of them yet, but I think down the road, as the technology gets better, we're going to see a lot more of this in the future. So, yeah. So 3D printing isn't just for making little toys and trinkets and statues. Okay, it has lots and lots of practical uses. More so on the industrial level than on the home user level, but it's coming. All I know is I'm hanging out there for the Star Trek replicator when I can go Earl Grey hot. And those of you that are Trekkies know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so yeah, this is coming to the end of today's program, but just what did we do? We went to my sister's for dinner, for Easter dinner. That was nice. She had lamb. I love lamb. And her husband, my brother-in-law, he did it on the barbecue, and it was delicious. And she had a great cake. She did a carrot cake. And I think it's her mother-in-law's recipe, who was there as well. Very moist. Very moist. I think the secret is there's a can of pineapple in it, which begs a different now. Is it a carrot cake or is it a pineapple carrot cake? Doesn't matter. It was still delicious. So it was nice over there. My nephew and niece and my nephew's girlfriend were there as well. And as I said, my sister's mother-in-law and father-in-law, we know them well. So it was a nice family gathering and a good time was had by all. And of course, you saw them last week, my little Easter bunny baskets. And you want to know something? I said to myself, I put a couple of fidget toys in there and whatnot in the baskets. And, are they going to really play with those? Like, will they think this is stupid? Apparently not. Fidget toys, no age limit. They were all playing with the fidget toys that were in it. So there must be something in the fidget toy thing that people like. Okay, so let's talk a little bit before I go about registration for the retreat. As I said already, it is filling up relatively quickly, but there's still spots available. So please don't be disappointed. I will put you on a waiting list if it is filled when you come to it. But your chances once you're on the waiting list, you might get on, but you might not. So why give yourself that worry? Just come in, send me an email with your first name, your last name, and if the email address you've sent that information from is different, you want me to contact you at a different email address, put that in too. That's all you need to do. Within about 10 minutes, you will get a confirmation that you're in. Yeah. And also that video is still up that explains all the ins and outs about the retreat too. So if you haven't seen that yet, that might be helpful. It's only 11-minute video. So check that out. It's on my channel. Yeah. So this Saturday, we're having a sew day at the club, Walter's group. Going to that. So I haven't decided yet what I'm going to take with me, whether I'm going to work on the Alaskan quilt or I'm going to work on the Art East quilt. We shall see. But I'm looking forward to that. Different people, different environment than my sew days when I go to that. And the other thing too is I'm not running it, so I can concentrate on what I'm sewing with that. So that's a bonus too. So that we'll tell you all about how that went next week. Okay, so that's it for me today. Tune into the Idiot Quilter tomorrow, and so Chatty on Friday, and then of course Stephen and Walter Live, which will be back on at the regular time, 4 p.m. Eastern on Sunday, not 3. 3 was only for this past week because we were going to my sister's for dinner. So yeah, hope to see you on any of these, and maybe on sewing with me too on Wednesdays. So yeah, I hope you had a great Easter, and I hope you have a great week. And now I have to psychologically prepare myself for the dentist. See you later. Bye. Hi, I'm just going to interrupt my program for just 1 second to remind you to like the video, to subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell for future notifications. That's all I ask of you. Show me a little love. Thanks.